What's up guys, it's Roy here. So today I have the most requested case comparison review video that I've ever been asked to do before, and that is for my iPhone 14 Pro. Which case do I prefer, the Caudabe Sheath case or the Caudabe Synthesis case? So in this video, I will give you my answer, so let's jump right into it. So looking at both of these cases here, you can see that they are very similar in look. Now the Synthesis case comes in at $40, where the Sheath case comes in at $35. So $5 difference between these two. Now looking at the back, you can see that they're very, very similar, but the Synthesis has a little bit of a darker black color versus the Sheath case. It's a very matte, more duller black color. It's still both black, but this one is just a tad bit darker looking, especially just looking at it right now as I'm holding them together. Now you can see the distinct difference between the two as well, where the camera bumps are a little bit different. So with the Synthesis case, we have a little bit larger camera bump that does extend out just a tad bit, where the Sheath case has a more slimmer cutout that hugs the camera bump versus extending it out just a tad bit. They both have similar Caudabe logos at the bottom, as you can see there, so very minimal. The major difference between the two, if you go side by side like this, is you can see that the Sheath case has a touch of a black high gloss pop with some accent lines across, and the Synthesis does not. So you can kind of see that there. Now looking on the interior, you can see that they're very similar once again, but the difference is that the MagSafe rings are just a little bit different looking than each other. So they both have Caudabe branding at the bottom. Now, touching and feeling them, the Synthesis case definitely feels a little more rigid and harder with not as much flex, where the Sheath case definitely has a little bit more flex and not as rugged feeling when you're touching it. So just touching it right now, this one definitely feels a lot harder, like a more of a polycarbonate, where this feels a little bit more flexible, like a TPU, but also still a harder interior. It's just you can hear that difference. It's just a little bit different, but with both of these cases, you're going to get great drop protection out of both of them, around 6 to 7 feet. So that is awesome. Now you do get a great warranty with these cases as well. So if you ever have an issue, you do have a 30-day return that you can do with these, and a year warranty as well. So that is pretty nice, and free shipping globally if it's over 45 bucks. Now looking at the sides between the two, you can see that they're very, very similar, but the big difference between the Synthesis and the Sheath is that the Synthesis has a dot matrix pattern here at the bottom that you can see, and it's going to just add this insane amount of grip to the side, and I absolutely love it. It's so grippy. And with the Sheath case, it's still very grippy, so I don't want to make it sound like it's not. It's just, it doesn't have that dot matrix pattern there. It just has all of the same material, like this very cool, rough, texturized material that feels great in the hand, so it's not like sandpaper, but it does not have that dot matrix pattern. But looking at them both, like I said, you can see that the button layouts are pretty much identical. They have the volume up and down, plus and minus on them, rectangular cutouts. You can see the difference with the Sheath case. It has that line, like I was saying just a bit ago, for the design. Looking at the top, you can kind of see how much the Synthesis camera bump cutout does stick out over the Sheath. And then looking at the side where the power button is, basically the same thing. So power buttons are very identical, except the only difference on this side is, once again, that dot matrix pattern. And then looking at the bottom here, we do have exactly the same type of cutouts for your ports and everything down below. So let's go ahead and slap it on. So let's do the Synthesis first, just to show you real quick what it looks like, and then we'll do the Sheath. As far as install goes, it couldn't be any simpler. Start with the volume up and down side and push in, and voila, there we go. So just to show you real quick how it looks, so there's the back. Doesn't add any extra weight, looks fantastic in my opinion. The bottom looks great, the cutouts look good. The side there, like I said, that grippy pattern, it just feels fantastic in the hand. The top, There's the side. As far as the buttons, they are very tactile and responsive, so no issues at all there. The alert slider is extremely simple to get to, as you can see there, so definitely a big plus there. The shake test, when it comes to the actual Synthesis case, the front face down is fine, but when you get to that back, when you hit the opposite corner, it is going to shake, but from the sides and the bottom, it does not shake at all. Very, very lightweight, so feels fantastic in the hand. I'm going to go ahead and grab my MagSafe charger real quick just to show you that it is MagSafe charging compatible, and the magnets are very, very strong on the Synthesis case. So that is definitely a feather in the cap for this case here as well. So now let's go ahead and switch over to the Sheath case. So I just want to show you how easy it is to uninstall these cases. So I'm trying to like not hit the table so that way I can not make the camera shake too crazy. And as you can see, I'm just kind of doing it suspended in the air, and it's that easy. So no issues at all. So now let's go ahead and pop on the Sheath case. Every time I say that, it sounds like I'm saying cheesecake, but it's Sheath case. And there it is. So once again, looks very, very similar, just a little bit different, right? So we got that line there. We got very minimal lips around the camera bump, but it's still recessed in nicely. So you're getting some great, great lens and camera protection. The side here, so very similar, except with that little pop of high gloss there. Both of them have high gloss around the buttons. There's the cutout, so looks good as well. And then the side here, same thing, right? Rectangular cutout, that pop of high gloss, and there's the top. Now, both of them have great lips around the front, so they're both tempered glass friendly, and they both have great lips around the front that's going to help with screen protection when you do place it face down on a surface. And that's the look of the front as well. And both of them have very similar cutouts around the speaker grill up top. So I just wanted to show you what that looks like as well. Now, as far as the buttons on the Sheath case, they're very tactile. If I had to say, I would probably say that the volume up and down on the Sheath case is a little bit more tactile and responsive than the Synthesis. Not to say, once again, that the Synthesis doesn't have tactile buttons. It just feels like this one is a little bit more clickier. And then just to go ahead and do the shake test, face down, there is no shaking at all. And back down, on the sides we're good, the bottom we're good, but we're still going to get that shaky mess a little bit on the opposite corner of the camera bump. But guys, that's pretty universal when it comes to a ton of cases for the 14 Pro. And then last but not least, let's go ahead and grab my MagSafe charger here. I'm going to slap it on. As you can see, it is MagSafe charging compatible, so there is no issues at all with that. And the same thing, the magnets are extremely ridiculously strong on the case. So if you look, you can see the hockey puck just finds it nicely, gives me some resistance when I have to pull it off. So definitely a fantastic case if you are someone that wants to use car accessories like MagSafe accessories and whatnot. So when it comes down to these two cases, which one is my favorite? It's like picking your favorite kid, right? Like these two cases are some of the best cases in my opinion when it comes to your iPhone 14, really even like my iPhone 13 Pro. I absolutely loved these two cases for my 13 Pro. But if you held a gun to my head and said, Roy, which one are you gonna pick? I'm gonna pick the one that my phone's in right now, and that is the Sheath case. So with the Sheath, you're gonna save $5, which at the end of the day, it's not like a huge deal, but just with the flexibility of the case and it's not as rigid. Yes, you're not getting the grippier side like you are getting on the Synthesis. So one thing I would love is some sort of hybrid between the two. Like I really like the camera bump look on the Synthesis, and I really like the dot matrix grip on the side. So if they made like a Sheath case with like the grippier side and maybe a little bit different looking camera bump, which I do like the sleek minimal look, but I just feel like if there was this perfect baby that they could make between the two, it would be like the best case ever. But when it comes down to it, I'm picking the Sheath case, save the money, and I think it's a fantastic case, and it does come in other colors, which definitely keep an eye out for that because I got a couple more in my hand, and I'm gonna be doing a review on those as well to show you what they look like. So hit that like button if you liked the video. If you loved it, please subscribe, ring that notification bell for up-to-date content. So be safe, God bless, we'll see you on the next one.